Oh no.
I can never do that gracefully. I can never. I just want it to fade out. I
Slow
just want
fade.
it. I just want. We're old. We're old people here.
Yeah, we're old. We're
I know. I
learning.
just want it to fade out and have the music going as we start talking a little bit. But I never. I can't get it right. I
That's
suck at
okay.
this. I
We're
suck at
getting there.
this.
Well,
And
let's say
anyway, welcome to the goddamn show, y'all.
welcome to the show. Welcome to
Y'all
the Undercurrent.
watching? I'm
I'm
Kristen.
Jeffrey.
I'm Kristen. He's Jeffrey.
That's right. Welcome to the show.
Welcome.
Another lovely day. We missed last
Another
week.
Sunday night. Are you drinking tonight? You're
Another
drinking.
Sunday
You're
night.
drinking.
I'm having a Guinness,
I'm having
which
a.
I'm going to pour into my little mug. Look at that. I got it because it looks like a little cask,
Okay.
and I'm going to drink root beer out of it. But for tonight, it's beer.
I'm just gonna
Guinness.
like raw dog it out of the can.
Oh my god!
And I
you're
have
crazy.
2 more standing ready
Right on.
in case they're needed.
What you drinking there? Some kind of light beer?
This is just ultra.
Ultra.
It's easy to drink.
So is Guinness. So
Disagree.
easy.
Disagree. I still have 3 Guinnesses in my fridge from last time you were here.
No shit.
Yeah,
Mail
I'm
them
not
to
touching.
me.
I don't touch that shit.
Mail them to me. Well, with DeJoy in charge of the USPS, I'm sure I won't see him for about 3 months.
I know, right? Much more efficient to just go buy some.
Exactly. I can't believe that guy isn't out of government yet. Because didn't Biden? Because well, I guess he has to serve his full term. The
I have no
Postmaster
idea
General.
how any of that shit works.
Well,
and
yeah.
Honestly, like, there's no rules anymore.
Well, not anymore. No, everything is off the rails. This country is fucked. I went over to my brother's tonight for his daughter's birthday. They got a cake for her, so they got pizza. I didn't have pizza, but we had cake. And my brother and I were talking. You know, we're always talking political stuff. Of course, we got around to it, and he's the one that told me about the young German man. He's 25, married to a American woman. They came across the Mexican-American border and detained by ICE. And then they held him for like 2 weeks and sent him back to Germany. Can't remember what the charges were, but he just disappeared. And his wife, when he got back to Germany, he contacted the Canadian news service and talked with them. And they also talked with his wife, who lives in California. And the reporter asked him and his wife, what would you say to other Germans or Europeans or anybody that, from another country that wants to come to the States? And she said, don't come here. It's not safe for you. This country is no longer safe for a lot of people from around the world.
Unless you fit in a very narrow box. Yeah. I mean, we're going to be, I don't know if Gilead is quite the thing yet, but I mean,
that's what they want.
No, we got motherfuckers in office that are like literal Christian nationalists, and they're not even like shy about saying it.
White Christian nationalists. And did you hear? Okay, so here's one topic is stripping, taking down anything out of the federal websites that have any of the words they don't like gay,
Mm-hmm.
or anything, homosexual, hetero, trans, whatever. It doesn't matter. If it's a word they don't like, they took it out. And
and they used AI.
Yeah, and there's a picture. Yeah, that's why they fucked it all up. And
Mm-hmm.
because there's a picture of the Enola Gay. The
Yeah.
Enola Gay, the airplane that
It
dropped
got taken down.
the atom bomb on Hiroshima. It got taken down because they had the word gay in it. It's
Yeah,
so
well,
fucked up.
and here's another one where it's kind of telling on itself, but they removed the page about Jackie Robinson from the Pentagon's website as well, which tells you like they're trying to remove anything about any black people.
Any black people, I don't know if they've done it to women yet, but I wouldn't doubt.
Oh, they will. They
will. They'll take away
because any black person or any woman that has a job is only
or any brown person
because of DEI. Listen, like I mean, I'm I work in sales. I'm the top producing salesperson in my company, but
right.
I'm a DEI hire.
Yeah, obviously,
according to these people.
Yeah,
because I'm not
you're
performing all the men in the company, but I'm a DEI hire.
Yeah, you're a woman, so obviously you're a DEI hire.
Of course.
And you've been unfairly given this job, so therefore you should probably be fired.
I should.
Just like thousands of other federal employees. What?
Well, and that's a whole different thing. I mean, they just want to dismantle the entire federal government. And it's not to save money. That's the thing. That's the bullshit that they've been feeding people.
They're not saving money.
Is that the austerity is about saving money? The austerity is about not spending money on things that help society and help people so that they can funnel more into the fucking billionaires' pockets.
Exactly.
Like, that's what it is. Like, they want to privatize the education system. So all that money that was going to the Department of Education, which they're trying to dismantle, is just going to go into private hands.
Exactly.
And
they want to privatize everything.
They want to privatize fucking everything.
And there's going to be just two classes, the very rich and everybody else.
They've got their eyes on Social Security. They've been wanting to privatize that for years.
Oh, the thing about
put it in the hands of all these hedge fund assholes to gamble it in the stock market. And then guess what? They fuck up like they did in 2008, and then nobody has retirement anymore.
Right.
Which we're headed that way anyway, because the goddamn market's tanking and all of our 401ks are in there.
And we go back to Reagan, because Reagan's the guy that said that basically gave the go-ahead for these big corporations. No more pensions. Let's do 401k. And then all these people that worked for 40 years or whatever, and then 2008, they're fucked because, boom, the whole market tanked, and everything that they had is gone.
It's a very short-sighted way of doing retirement.
Exactly.
And you have all these people that are like, no, the market over time always goes up, it always goes up, it always goes up. But, like, what window of history are we looking at? Like, there's not that much, really.
No. I was watching something the other day about the creation of the Fed, and basically we've had 19 recessions since the Fed came into play.
Yeah,
and the way they try to control. Yeah, it's all bullshit. It is a scam. And
I mean, they talk about the national debt, but the national debt is because we're basically buying our money with interest from the Fed. Like, every dollar that's created comes with interest.
Exactly.
Like the national debt is like built into the system. It's baked into the cake.
It is.
But the best way to get assassinated, not to get conspiratorial, but the best way to get assassinated is to try to go off of that monetary system.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Lincoln and Kennedy both tried it.
They did? I didn't know that.
Yes, they did.
Wow.
Didn't go well for either of them.
Sic semper tyrannis.
Sorry, I'm getting conspiratorial now.
That's okay.
But that's what we do in this country. That is what we do in this country. I could say any number of insane things. I could be spewing all kinds of insane bullshit, and it doesn't matter.
Oh yeah, it doesn't matter because our president does it every day, and Elon Musk does it too.
Well, there's no standard anymore. There's no such thing as truth.
No, it's only
a court rules in a way that you don't like. Just kick the judge out. Just impeach the judges. That's where we're going.
Yeah, exactly. Now. We're losing all our guardrails. The inspector generals, they were all fired. These are the people that are guardrails, from every state in the country.
Yep.
They're gone. That was one of the first things they did. I mean, they are following the fascist playbook, the dictator's playbook, bit by bit. They're getting rid of all the guardrails. They're getting rid of any regulatory system, basically. I mean, we're gonna.
Oh yeah, like the CFPB. Like, so we had this whole debate a few years ago.
The Consumer Financial Protection.
Yeah, like the whole thing a few years ago about defund the police, and like everyone got up in arms. Oh my God, no crime, whatever.
Right.
But I mean, what they really did with the CFPB is defund the white collar police, right? I mean, isn't that who's going after the white collar criminals and making sure they're not ripping us off and holding them accountable? Yep. So I mean, they did. The people who are the most against defunding the police went ahead and defunded the fucking police. It's that there's two sets of rules in this country. If you're rich and powerful, and if you know the right people, you can do whatever the fuck you want.
Whatever you want.
And then there's another set of rules for everyone else.
Everybody else.
And you know what? Honestly, like Martha Stewart would probably like a word. Like she went to fucking jail.
I know.
For a pretty minor insider trading offense. Meanwhile, like corruption is just fucking rampant.
Yeah.
They're all insider trading. They're all taking bribes. They're all
why is it that every
out in the fucking open now? Like they don't. The
why
mask
is it that
off?
Oh yeah, it's wide open. Why is it that every single congressperson or senator, after they leave office 20 years down the road, they're all multimillionaires? Gee, I wonder why.
Oh shit!
I mean, they need to
hear that.
Just a little bit. It's not bad.
Okay, sorry.
It'll go up soon enough, I'm sure. How hot is it down there right now?
I had to turn my air conditioner on today. It was 80 today.
Oh my God! So
beautiful.
80. That's not bad. Yeah,
that's nice. It's going to be pushing 90s later this week. Love it. I'm excited.
We got up to 70 last week. It was really nice. Damn. All right, we're getting off topic.
It's okay. It's fine. That's what we do.
That's okay. I
mean, the whole point of this podcast, for those who are new, if anyone's watching this shit,
for your new
I
viewers.
mean, the whole concept behind this podcast is like we would just talk on the phone all the time because we live
exactly
geographically apart. Jeff used to live in Chicago and I lived in Utah. Now he's in Colorado and I'm in Vegas.
Yeah.
Am I doxing us right now? Not really.
No, we're fine.
Colorado and Vegas aren't big places.
They're very big places.
But we talk on the phone all the time, and our conversations would just go like this, right? We'd be discussing the world and politics and whatever. And the idea was just, oh shit, we should just start a podcast. We could just have the same conversation, but just like fucking record it.
Right? I'm gonna change my lighter.
And here we are.
And here we are.
God
making waves.
Making waves.
In the undercurrent.
I mean, not really any viewers.
Not any major waves, but
that's ancillary. I mean, we're still having the conversation. That's the point.
Exactly.
Should anyone like to watch or join?
Yeah.
I mean, more than welcome.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I don't know why, but when I put my beer onto the camera, it changes the lighting.
Oh yeah. Woo. Interesting. Woo. What about doing mine? No, not really. Speaking of the way the Trump and his ilk are tearing apart the federal government and firing people willy-nilly, this is their playbook on steroids, basically, because they've been doing this for years and years. That when they get in power, they go into a situation like DeJoy with the U.S. Postal Service, go in, make it so it doesn't work well, make it shitty, make it terrible, and then go to the people and say, 2-4 years later at the next cycle of voting, tell the people, oh, look, this doesn't work at all. This shit. We have to get rid of it. We need to privatize it. Let the private sector run it more efficiently. No, that's not the way it is. They go in and they destroy it. And then they pretend that it just fell apart on its own when they're the ones that are destroying it. And they're doing it again, but they're doing it on wholesale, everything. Everything and on steroids. And like the U.S. What is it? U.S. Peace Initiative or something. It's a private organization that was founded by Ronald Reagan, and Elon Musk and his Doge boys tried to get in last week, and they turned them away at the door. And then they got the Justice Department to come with them, and the Justice Department, the new head of the Justice Department, called the security detail that works for the U.S. Peace Initiative, whatever it's called. I can't think of the name of it. Private organization. They called that security company and said, if you don't cooperate with us and help us get into the building and look for stuff, we're going to cut your contracts for every federal place you work for. And so they said, oh, okay, we'll help you. And so basically by force of gun, they went in and looked at records and did all this shit. Luckily, there was a judge who said, this is bullshit. You can't do that.
It's
but they were already
Gestapo, man. Like, what the hell?
It is. I know. There's that saying that we saw first time Trump was around on Facebook or whatever social media we watched that said, when people say, what would you have done if you had lived in the time of Hitler in Germany during Nazi Germany? Well, you're living in it now. What are you doing now?
Whatever you're doing now is what you would have done.
What you would have done back then? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
and it just blows my mind how many millions and millions of people in this country are so uneducated and ignorant as to what Trump and Musk and the conservatives are doing in Project 2025 and all of it, and
a lot of it is willful ignorance.
For sure.
There's a lot of fuck around and find out people right now.
It's happening big time.
I think maybe next week we play a few of those and comment.
Oh, we should,
because there's a lot of people. And the sad part is that these people didn't mind immigrants being harassed, intimidated,
right,
oppressed. They didn't mind LGBT people being harassed, intimidated, taking their rights away. But when it affects them, oh my God, what? Like
suddenly,
I don't know, what is that? Like, have some empathy. Like, I don't know.
They don't. Oh, did you hear what Elon Musk said about empathy?
I did.
And
that tells you every goddamn thing you need to know about that man.
For our viewers, if you didn't hear it, Elon Musk basically said, I think he was on Joe Rogan. It looked like that studio. He just said the problem with Western civilization in America is empathy. We shouldn't have empathy. What the fuck is he talking about? Fuck you narcissistic lunatic. Of course we need empathy. How do you think things get done in the world? We're human beings. How do you think we pulled ourselves out of the Stone Age and into the modern age? Empathy. We care about each other. We help each other.
Society, like it is hardwired into us.
Exactly.
I mean, the only thing that separates normal humans from a sociopath is empathy or the lack thereof.
Correct.
So he's kind of telling on himself.
Yeah, he's basically telling the world, I am a sociopath.
Well, and he's regurgitating Ayn Rand's objectivism bullshit too. Ugh. I mean, her whole thing was compassion is a weakness, altruism is a weakness, selfishness is a virtue. Just completely in the bizarro world.
I know about her, but I don't know that much because she just repels me. Everything I've heard about her.
She disgusts me more than almost anybody in the street. Yeah.
Yeah, and she's influenced so many of these douchebags on the right. Oh my
God, right? The hell world that we live in right now has a lot to do with her influence and people who have espoused her ideas and her philosophies. And this is the end result.
For sure.
The hell world that we live in, this is Ayn Rand's utopia right here. This is what she wanted.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Congratulations.
All is good for the... Yeah, congratulations, Ayn.
Good job. We live in a shithole.
Ayn. Ugh. This country is becoming scary to live in. And we're only 3 months into this administration. Barely 3 months. And we've still got...
Doesn't it seem like it's been 2 years already?
Yeah. Everything is so insane. But that's their strategy.
You want to think like maybe the midterms will, maybe put some checks on them. But are they even going to allow, like at this point, there's no guardrails. They can do whatever they want. Are we even going to have midterms at this point? I don't want to sound hysterical.
Yeah.
And I would have scoffed at people saying this, a year ago.
Oh, yeah.
But like, seriously, are we even going to have real elections?
Yeah, I don't know. Well, Chris Cuomo, formerly of CNN, he's got his own.
That guy, but go ahead.
Yeah, he's got his own podcast or little news thing going on. Whatever. Anyway, I was watching Rachel Maddow or somebody, but they were doing clips from Cuomo's show. And Cuomo was interviewing Steve Bannon, and they were talking about Trump and how he's doing great, this and that, and talking. But the one thing I remember from the end of it was saying, Bannon was saying, and he'll run again in 2028 and he'll win. And then Cuomo said, well, he's term limited. And Bannon said, oh, we'll see about that. As if, you got plans to change all that. And the idea that birthright citizenship is not constitutional, it's in the Constitution.
Yeah.
Literally. What the fuck is wrong?
They don't care about the Constitution, though. They
want to get rid of the Constitution.
But they don't even, they don't believe in it.
No, because it does not help them. All they care about is themselves and their own money. And as long as we keep working for them and making them money, then everything's fine for them.
Yeah. Yeah, we're just...
and if you die because you don't get health care, tough shit. That's your own fault.
What they want a feudal system. That's... the end result of libertarian economics is a feudal system.
Feudalism.
They want aristocracy. They want serfs. If you talk to most libertarians, they don't even want regular people to be able to vote.
Because they're not smart enough. They can't be responsible. It's such bullshit.
Recent results might back up that opinion, but
well, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But you know what? Again, I go back to Reagan, and I probably will on every podcast we do, because that son of a bitch put in so many things. And the whole Project 2025 thing from the Heritage Foundation, they've been doing that since 1973 when they got started.
Oh, this has always been their agenda, yes. They just have this vehicle that they can attach themselves to now and like literally infect everything. It's like a Trojan horse, not even a very good one, because we all saw right through it. But yeah, they've attached themselves to Trump who for whatever reason is never held accountable for anything by his followers.
He'll never go to jail.
It doesn't matter what he we're like the consent of his followers. Like they just don't care.
No, they don't give a fuck.
Completely detached from reality. Whatever he does is right, even if it hurts them, even if it's contrary to what they want or what they said they wanted yesterday, or what he said he wanted, or what he said he was going to do yesterday. They don't care. That's the insane part. That's cult mentality.
Yeah, those are the people in the cult. The regular, normal, Republicans, from yesteryear. I mean, we've been seeing these town halls for the last 2 weeks. Well, fuck them too, but they're finally waking up and seeing what's happening, and they're going to these town halls every time one of their representatives says how great Trump and Elon Musk and Doge is doing. The crowd erupts into anger and fuck you, and flipping them off, yelling at whoever that representative is on stage. One guy in Michigan just walked off. He was like,
I saw that.
Oh yeah, that was crazy. But it's still going on. But the Republican Party told Congress people, just don't have a town hall, and then you don't have to deal with the people. What the fuck is wrong with these
people? Well, here's the thing, though. This was kind of my point, was that when you have that kind of lack of accountability, when you are Teflon to the point that nothing will stick to you that way, and that your followers will never hold you accountable, the Heritage Foundation was salivating over that, because they can attach all the bullshit that they've been wanting to do for the last 40 years to this one dude. He can just go fucking play golf, which is what he's doing. He can just go play golf while they do whatever the hell they want.
While they rip our
they implement every single policy that they wanted for the last 40 years.
Yep.
And it's going to take a long time to undo the damage they're doing.
Yeah, it is. It is. It could be a couple of generations, if not more. I mean, if there's a full-blown coup, and I mean, this is how Putin came to power, basically. He cozied up to the oligarchs, just like Trump is doing. And, and then once he got all the money and the power then he just fucking took over. That's why he's one of the richest people in the world. It's because he stole it all from the people of Russia, and he stole it from the oligarchs, and he's jailed.
That's one of the hallmarks
of the fascist.
Yep.
Exactly. And Trump is following the playbook page by page, and we're headed in that direction. And like we were saying before we got on the live feed here, the only people safe in this country right now are people that look like me. White, hetero men. That's it. If you're a woman, if you're black, if you're brown, if you're gay, if you're trans, anything outside of the norm for the conservatives, then you're in trouble. You better watch out.
If you have a job, it's DEI. If you,
exactly. And if
your job prospect should be, you should have a lot of openings coming up that you could apply for.
Oh yeah, I have been looking for another job, so maybe with Trump, and I'm
all these DEI hires will be out of your way now.
Exactly. I should restart making some real money now.
Hell yeah, go for it, man. The nation's loss is your gain.
That's right. Nation's loss is my gain. See how I can take advantage of this.
Take advantage of it while you can.
Of this fascist dictatorship that's taking over.
Shit, man, I'm on beer too already.
Woo! I've been nursing mine, but I'm getting close. It's getting close to the end, folks. I don't even have any weed. I ran out the other day.
Tonight. You ran out of weed?
I ran out of weed, but it's okay because it's good. I've got edibles, which is fine.
Okay. You're good. You're getting your fix done.
Yeah, I am getting my fix, but I don't know. I'm just kind of slowing things down because I've gotten so used. Living in Colorado, we have legal weed, so it's just been easy. Well, you have it there in Nevada too, so
we do. It's literally next door to where I live.
Yeah, literally next door. I've been there. But it's like it's just. I mean, I've always smoked weed since I was a kid. Well, late teenager. But so I'm used to it. But when it's free like this, it's just like, go buy an ounce. I'm set for the next 2 weeks. I'm a daily smoker, but it's getting to the point where it's really affecting my lungs quite a bit, and I've been hacking up stuff. Yeah. So I decided
pump the brakes.
Yeah. So I said, you know what? Exactly, pump the brakes. If I run out, I run out. I still got some edibles. No big deal. I could just take a break for a while. But I'm kind of glad because it gives you a little different perspective. And I tell you what, I have kept my room so clean lately.
Oh,
it's insane. Like I'm vacuuming. I'm vacuuming
is that
every 2 days.
The weed? What does that have to do with weed?
I'm
not. By the way, for anyone watching, I'm not a weed smoker. I've tried a couple times. I don't like it. Anyway,
it doesn't work for her. It works for me. Yeah. I don't know. The
hold on 1 second. I'm gonna take you off the screen for a second because you're not synced with your sound.
Okay.
Like you look like a dubbed like Godzilla movie. Hold on one sec. Hello, it's just me.
10, 9.
Why is it counting down? Okay, you're back.
I'm back. Is it
Okay,
working now?
you're synced up now. Yeah, I don't know what the hell that was about. This
Sorry,
software
folks.
sucks. I really hate this podcasting software that I'm using.
Oh well.
I'm
Let's
try
just
to find
start.
something different.
Yeah, let's just start for now. We'll be fine.
We'll be fine. No one's
Anyway,
watching this thing anyway.
So, they will be.
They will.
What else is going on?
Well, I think on a positive note, Colorado, Vegas.
Oh yeah, the Bernie Sanders, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, countrywide fight oligarchy tour. Came to Vegas last week, and came to Denver this week. Yeah, you missed. I missed Denver.
I was working too long of hours last week, and I missed it.
He came to Denver for 2 days, and on the second day, at the second rally, which was outdoors, 34,000 people came, which is pretty amazing. And that's one of the biggest. That is the biggest rally that Bernie's ever held.
Yeah,
even when he ran for president.
Election years.
Exactly. It's just
that
huge.
tells you something.
That tells you something. That tells you the people are pissed. The people do not. This is not America.
And new people are coming to the vote. So you look at this compared to what fucking Schumer's doing, to what Gavin Newsom's doing. All these people are bending the knee. They're capitulating. They're trying to act like they're against it, but then they just capitulate. They're the fucking Washington Generals. They're just going up there to lose to the Harlem Globetrotters every night. That's what they are, and everyone's seeing through it. Everybody's seeing through it.
Yeah.
And everyone's seeing that the ones that are actually fighting. And welcome to the party, you all. We've been here for years, but the ones who are actually fighting is Bernie Sanders. It's the progressives. It's AOC. We've been here for a while, and welcome. Like, I don't care if you voted for Trump or whoever. Like, get in here. It's about fucking time, you know. And people are seeing it, and it's starting to feel like 2016 again. And maybe we can unite this left movement that has been splintered and fractured and divided ever since 2020. And maybe this is what we need to pull it all back together and actually make a run to actually do something, you know, meaningful. Because the Democratic Party itself, the mainstream Democratic Party, like, they're clearly not doing anything. They need to get the fuck out of the way, right?
Yeah, they're lame. They're lame. They aren't doing shit. And they went ahead and agreed with the continuing resolution instead of saying no because you're trying to destroy our country. Chuck Schumer is not an effective leader. He needs to get out. And so does Hakeem Jeffries, I think. He's not doing shit. Why don't they put in Ocasio-Cortez?
I'll tell you why. I'll tell you exactly why. They're in leadership, and the reason that they don't do anything and appear not to be able, it's not because they're incompetent. It's not because they don't know. It's because they are funded by the same fucking donors that fund the Republican Party, and they want them to just be the illusion of opposition.
You're right. You're right.
They can't actually speak out against the oligarchy because they are part of the fucking oligarchy.
They are. We're the journalist we had talked about a couple weeks ago. Can't think of his name right now. Chris Hedges.
Yes.
I think, yeah. I was watching a interview with him, someone else made a podcast on YouTube, and he said basically this election was the oligarchs versus the corporatists. On the Republican side, you have the oligarchs and the oligarchy, and on the Democratic side, you have the corporatists. Same old shit they've been doing for the last, 30, 40, 50 years, getting all their money from all the big money on Wall Street. They're still beholden to those motherfuckers, but they're doing it. They still at least want to do some good in the country. They don't want to. They want to keep democracy mostly. Yeah. Not like oligarchy. They don't want to go into oligarchy.
Well, there's a lot of overlap between oligarchy and corporatism.
Yeah, there is.
Kind of two sides of the same coin in a lot of ways.
But at least the Democratic Party wants to maintain democracy in their country.
I don't even think they care.
The Republican Party. I don't know.
Listen, man, this is a party that torpedoed their own primaries 2 times, defended themselves in court by saying they are under no obligation to run a fair primary. They went out of their way not to hold a primary this year. with Biden to get Kamala through, so
Right.
she wouldn't have to withstand a primary, which she wouldn't have been able to withstand. And
well, there wasn't enough time either, was there?
I have no patience for the Democratic Party clutching their pearls about democracy and acting like they're the great defenders of democracy when they literally torpedoed Bernie Sanders in 2016 and then defended that shit in court by saying, "Oh, we don't have to have fair primary. We're a private organization."
Exactly, a private
Super
organization.
democratic, y'all. Super fucking democratic. Congratulations.
That's
great defenders of democracy.
That definitely pisses me off about the Democratic Party. They made a terrible mistake, and they keep making terrible mistakes. Are they ever going to learn? Is my question.
It's not mistakes. It's not. That's the thing. They have to do the bidding of their corporate funders.
That's true.
This goes all the way back to the 90s with Clinton. Clinton's the one that started taking the corporate money back in the 90s.
What do they call that?
Look at all this sweet cash that Reagan started bringing in, and these Republicans are rolling in. And he's like, I'm going to get me some of that too. And now
no liberalism. That's what they called it.
Yeah, I mean, and that's when, the last of the New Deal Democrats, all the dominoes started to fall.
Oh yeah, and then Clinton. What was the bill he said? I can't remember, but it was basically a welfare bill that said you have to have a job within 6 months, and then you're off the welfare roll or some shit like that.
Yeah, it's funny that Clinton did more for the Republican agenda than any Republican during my lifetime.
And
crazy. Democrats hold him up like he's a fucking hero.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's insane. Our country has lost its mind over the last 50
years. It is good. I mean, back to the same topic again. These rallies that Bernie's holding.
Yes, that's making a big difference for a lot of people, I think, because I'm hoping that there's a lot of new people that are going to those rallies. Because the first time I saw Bernie when he ran, the first time against Trump, when I saw him speak, he moved me. I mean, to tears one time when I was watching him speak. I was just like, yes, this is what our country should be,
Yeah, exactly.
And hopefully he's having that kind of effect, and Alexandria are both having that kind of effect on people if they're new to the system. And
I think
you're probably getting a lot of young people.
Yeah.
What? Oh, I was just saying.
Sorry, you're not
synced.
People hopefully you're unsynced again.
Not synced again?
I think I'm getting your sound.
Okay.
Let's try this again. I don't know if there's like an internet lag or something.
And we're back.
Yeah, there's still like a lag. I don't know.
Welcome back to The Undercurrent with Kristen and Jeffrey.
Welcome back. Welcome back to ASMR.
Welcome back. Remember, welcome back.
Oh, you're dating yourself. You're dating yourself with that one.
I am old.
That was even a little bit before my time.
Yeah, I would think so.
I remember the song, but like when I was really little, like the beginning of Taxi. I just knew like I was up too late when I heard the Taxi theme song.
Oh, with the flute or whatever.
That's such a pleasant song. Sometimes I just listen to it.
It really is. Yeah, it's a happy little song. It was a great show. Yeah. Oh, and we talked about the German guy that got taken.
Yes.
Another story I heard, my brother told me, it was a Canadian woman, an actress, who works on, I don't know, a couple shows, a couple movies here in the States. She was on the show for a while. I remember her name, but she was detained at the Mexican-U.S. border, and they kept her, and they moved her around a bunch in different facilities, jails, for almost 3 weeks. No, almost 2 weeks. And sleeping on cement floors, eating terrible food. They give her shit food, and moving her around all over the place, and it's like just insane. And now she's back in Canada, safe, thank God. But I saw her when she just got out the plane and was talking to reporters, and she's like, I'm still processing this whole thing. I haven't quite, figured it all out yet. I don't know what's going on, but she told what happened. It's just nuts. It is insane. And his whole idea that he wants to buy Canada, annex Canada.
What is that? And Greenland?
He's out of his mind. And Greenland, and it's empire is what it is.
The mask is off. The mask is off. It is
they're not pretending to hide anything.
Well,
anymore.
We've been imperialist for a long time, but they're just doing it out in the open.
Oh, yeah.
And maybe that's the silver lining in all this, is that an actual real opposition is springing up to it. All the people that were behind Hillary Clinton and Biden and were just, standard normie Democrats before, those are the ones that are showing up at these party rallies now. And, and the rest of the world's seeing it too.
Yeah.
So,
And
I mean, that's the
I've seen
silver
a lot
lining of
of
it, unless we want to go full Hitler and actually start invading countries and just being,
right.
outwardly the bully that we've been for a long time.
Let's
I
just
mean,
take over.
they're
Oh,
exposing
and
themselves.
totally. I saw something the other day about, how Trump wants to retake the Panama Canal.
Yes.
I saw this video. One of the reasons behind that is because China, of course, our probably biggest major superpower outside of Russia. They, they have been doing a lot of work over the last 30 years, going into Africa, Mexico, Central America, South America, and helping all these countries with their infrastructure and cutting deals and doing all this stuff. Well, turns out China or Mexico has a huge port on the Atlantic side of the country, about halfway down. And so China is just directly, they're not even going through the Panama Canal. They're just in that port on the west side of Mexico and then driving everything across the country and then getting another boat and sending it through the Gulf of Mexico and the Caribbean and then selling their goods, hitting ports, in Texas and Florida and everywhere else along the coast. And so they're just bypassing that. And they don't need Panama Canal, basically, making their own way. So Trump, basically Trump wants to control this whole hemisphere, I think, and he wants our country to be the biggest landmass in the world, which we would be if we had Canada and Greenland.
But what a stupid aspiration that is. We want
it's
the
retarded.
Most
and
he
shit. And he tried to say that we were always supposed to have Canada. Like Canada was never supposed to be its own country.
Supposed to what? Who makes these rules?
He just makes his shit up. No, he just makes his shit up, I think. He just says,
this is half of what we have already anyway. I mean, we stole all of it. We stole all of it.
Oh, yeah.
We stole it again.
We stole all of it. Yeah. We stole it all from the beginning.
So where are we going? We're going to Europe? I'm ready to be
Europe, yeah, exactly. I could go to Europe. Maybe Thailand. They have a, what do you call it? Monarchy. But it's a constitutional monarchy. So the king actually has no actual power. Yeah. But that could be a scary place, too. You never know. I think Europe would be safer. France, Netherlands. Oh, and I don't
care for the weather in Britain.
Oh no, me either.
Like it's rainy and gross out. But yeah.
Yeah, but you might as well be in Seattle.
Maybe like Portugal. I hear it's nice there.
Rain. Portugal. Australia. Oh, I've been watching this one woman on YouTube. She immigrated to Spain with her husband a couple years back. But I've been seeing her videos lately. She's like, well, if you need to leave the country, here's some steps you got to do. Like get your passport. Make sure it's good for at least 6 months past the time you're going to be in the new country. And, just giving advice on people. Because I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people that are just going to say, fuck this, I'm done. I'm moving.
It's definitely tempting.
We're clearly moving towards fascism. We're already an oligarchy. So...
it's something to watch closely. If it goes too many steps further than it's already gone, then yeah, it might be time to start looking.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you got a boyfriend elsewhere in another country,
I do.
Right? Yeah.
I got a Canadian boyfriend.
Yeah, so maybe Canada.
That's like the bullshit story everyone tells. Yeah, I've got a boyfriend, but he goes to another school, or he lives in Canada. My boyfriend lives in Canada.
Yeah, I got a girlfriend in the Netherlands.
My boyfriend doesn't live in Canada, but he is a Canadian.
Right. But yeah, that's an option for you. You never know. I don't know.
It's cold there. It's so cold.
I know.
Moved out of Utah because of the cold.
Canada is super cold, and
Canada's colder than Utah.
Yeah, it's colder, and they're longer. Their winters
Take
are
off,
longer,
you knob.
Too. Take off to the Great White North, poser.
Have to get me a collection of toques, eh?
That's right, eh? Bob and Doug
McKenzie. I do like hockey.
You do like hockey. Yeah, that's true. You play
Fun
hockey.
fact about me, y'all listeners.
Speaking of Canada, have you heard this thing called Elbows Up?
Is
Mike Myers did it on
Is that what you're drinking?
Nope. No, 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 no.
No?
But that's a good guess. That's a very good guess.
What is it?
No, it refers to hockey, and Wayne Gretzky, because whenever somebody tried to fuck with him, elbows up, and he would take out teeth and give concussions. And
Okay.
yeah, brutal up. And so that's been like a trending thing in Canada. I didn't know what it was, and my brother told me about it tonight when I was at his house, and he said Mike Myers, the comedian who came from Canada from SNL, he's been on SNL playing Elon Musk in the cold
Yeah,
opens
I've
the
seen
last
that.
few weeks.
He's really good.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. Yeah, and but at the end of the show, he goes on the show and says, "Elbows up, elbows up," and I was like, "What the hell is that?" I thought it must be a Canadian thing. Well, it is a Canadian thing, and it's basically "fuck you" to Trump. Wayne Gretzky, elbows up, bam.
Yeah.
Canada's like "fuck you," bam. So
Wayne
it's been a
Gretzky, who
growing movement.
incidentally is a MAGA.
Who?
Wayne Gretzky.
Oh, is he?
Yes.
Is he still alive?
Unfortunately.
I guess if he's a MAGA, then yeah, he's still alive.
Everyone, if they live long enough, will disappoint you.
Yeah, I didn't know he was a MAGA. Yeah, there's a lot of sports people that are
kind of ironic,
Trump
right?
support. It really is.
It's like finding out that Elizabeth Moss, who plays, I can't remember what her name is. I haven't seen The Handmaid's Tale in a couple of years, but
oh yeah.
When you find out in real life that she's a Scientologist,
no, is she?
It makes the show hit a little different. Yeah, she's literally a Scientologist.
I had no idea. How do people get sucked into these cults?
I know, right? Well, I grew up in one. Not
yeah,
that
that's
one,
true.
but I did grow up in one, so I understand it. When you from birth are taught a certain thing and that's all you ever know.
Yeah, that's true.
It's very hard to step away from it or even to look at it objectively.
Oh yeah, and for a lot of people, it's security. It means
it's comfortable. It's having all the answers.
Yeah, I got all the answers. I'm safe with this community, with this group of lunatics.
If it's not what you think it is, then you don't know any answers. And maybe there aren't answers. And maybe you just have to be okay with not having any answers or coming up with different answers or, using your own intellect and your own sense of morality and your own empathy and your own morals to kind of understand what the answers are or, ascertain them as best you can rather than just deferring to some fucking asshole, who's trying to make money running a church to tell you what all the answers are. I'd rather trust my own judgment.
Exactly. Yeah. I don't need somebody else to tell me what God means.
Yeah. It took me 36 years to figure that out myself. But, better late than never.
But you did, thank God. Yeah. Thank goodness.
Yes, I did.
Thank whatever. Yeah.
Well, what the hell else is going on in the world right now?
Oh, we didn't talk about Tesla stock dropping like a fucking brick in the ocean.
I'm sorry. That's
poor Elon. And he had a big meeting. He had an all employee meeting with his Tesla employees, and he started off saying how great the stock was last year, and basically begging the employees and higher ups not to dump their stock, which a lot of the employees are doing. They're just like, fuck it. I'm done. I'm out.
I'm out.
Yep. And then it's dropped. It was Rachel Maddow I was listening to talking about this, and she said, "You know who else said that? Enron." So it's like
you can't alienate half of the country and almost like probably 90% of the rest of the world and expect your stock to not tank.
Exactly. Everyone hates him.
Everyone thinks he's like this genius, but he's clearly a dipshit, right?
He's no genius. He's a fucking idiot. Yeah, he's just a user.
He's a fucking idiot. He's
a malicious narcissist. Yep. And he's
just really good at talking. Over promise, under deliver. I mean, look at the fucking hyperleak in Vegas. All it is some stupid tunnels with Teslas underneath.
They actually did in Vegas?
It's useless.
Does anybody use it?
The Hyperloop in Vegas, I don't even know. I don't even know where I've lived here for 2 years. I don't even know where you go to get on it.
Shit, I didn't even know it was there. I thought he was doing it.
It was supposed to be like this revolutionary new public transportation system or whatever. And so this dipshit goes down and he builds these tunnels underground, like single lane tunnels.
Right.
And then they have like Tesla cars driving underneath. Yeah. It's just a road like underground with one lane.
It's not a tube where you get on a track and it's
it doesn't move any meaningful amount of people in any kind of an efficient way. It's just another place for cars to drive. And
it's ridiculous. It's not public transit.
It's not innovative. It's not revolutionary. It's just he overpromised and then way underdelivered. Because that's what he does.
Exactly.
All the promises he made
Oh,
about
yeah,
the
totally.
Cybertruck, not a single one came to fruition.
No, and you know when they unveiled it on stage and they threw that stainless
Yes,
steel
and they broke the
ball at it,
window.
it broke the fucking window.
And now
That was so
he thinks
funny. I
that
died
he
laughing.
can talk about these Tesla robots and that's what's going to save him because he's going to try the same. He's
Oh
going to
yeah,
try
the
to do the
robots.
same scam with the robots. He's making all these promises. Yeah, but this thing's coming, and it's going to be great.
Oh
And
yeah,
we're innovating, and we're better at this than anyone in the world, whatever. And
yeah. Weren't we supposed to be on Mars by this year?
Yeah, we were. It's just more talk.
Yeah,
It's just
yeah,
more
just
talk.
more talk. Yeah, the whole
I mean, this
idea
guy,
of what is it?
he's less popular than Trump, and that's pretty bad.
Oh yeah, I know, it's amazing, and Trump's not that popular.
Trump is not that popular.
I mean, the people have been fooled, obviously, but
yeah, they're
Well,
gonna
how
figure
did-
it out. I just hope it's not too late when everyone figures it out, or enough of them figure it out.
right. You know, I saw this thing the other day about how we've got where we're at as well. Not just Reagan, but Supreme Court Justice, I think it was Warren, before he became a justice, during the 60s and 70s,
The
early
Warren
70s.
Commission fame.
Yeah. He basically sent this memo to all the powers that be, and basically made a plea saying that business in America was not doing well because of all these social movements and stuff, and how we had to suppress them and do all these other things. And that memo, I'll get more information on it for next week. But basically, that memo helped us to get where we're at right now, so that big business could thrive and take over, because that's what they want. You know, I mean, it's
what that ultimately leads to, though, right?
Like you said before,
it leads to
feudalism,
aristocracy, feudalism,
yeah,
and then that leads to the guillotine.
Yeah, exactly. Dictatorship.
Are you familiar at all with Keynesian economics? John Maynard Keynes.
Yeah.
So his whole system, like, he's very anti-socialist. He's a capitalist. He developed this very complex system that's basically putting a driver in the car that is the economy, right?
Right.
But his whole thing is, like, because he was very in favor of government spending, of a welfare state, and those kinds of things, because he's like, the alternative is full-blown socialism. And so they know what the end result, if they fly too close to the sun, is going to be. And it seems to me like right now they don't care.
Yeah, they don't care.
And honestly, when it snaps back the other way, that just opens the door to other authoritarians to come in. You've seen Hunger Games, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I mean,
I was talking to somebody the other day about that movie and how we're living in it.
I mean, you have the one enemy in the Capitol, but just because he's the bad guy doesn't mean the person fighting him is the good guy either.
Right. Exactly.
You know, because she had to go down too.
Yeah, we could we might get rid of Trump, but we could be jumping out of the pot and straight into the fire with the next guy.
That's what I mean. If you snap back too far, I'm about balance.
Yeah,
and
exactly. We've lost that in this country. It's gone.
And I mean, if you don't want authoritarianism, if you don't want totalitarianism, you cannot concentrate power. And
you know,
it doesn't matter if it's capitalist, socialist, whatever your fucking system is.
Yeah.
The thing that is going to lead to authoritarianism and totalitarianism is a concentration of power.
Exactly. Which is happening right now. Yeah, it's moving towards the executive branch. It's all being pushed towards the executive branch. Right now, the judiciary is really one of the last stopgaps we have. But look at the Supreme Court. It's 6-3 on the conservative side. Yeah. It's, we're living in a hellscape. It's crazy. It's insane.
Yeah,
this country we live in. This is not the country I grew up in. I mean, some of it is, I'm sure. I didn't know about politics when I was a kid, but when we went to school, or at least when I went to school, we learned about civics. We had social studies. We learned about local, state, and federal government and how it works. And we learned about our democracy and how it's supposed to work. Maybe I was living a pipe dream back then too, but it's not like it is today. It's a lot different. I mean, maybe they were hiding the corruption better back then. But like you say, today it's just all out in the open. They don't care.
They don't care.
They feel like they can do whatever they want.
Yeah. Well, and we live in a country now where money equals power. money literally
Exactly.
equals power. And
Yep.
and what have we seen since 1980? All of the money being consolidated into fewer and fewer and fewer hands, less and less and less competition.
Exactly.
You know, even if you want to talk free market capitalism, like all of the industries that used to have, you know, 50, 60, 100 different competitors in the market, now 3, 4, 5, you know.
Oh yeah, it's all been consolidated into
all
just a few
all
big
the money has been
companies.
consolidated, all of the businesses have been consolidated, so the market doesn't react to demand, which is a huge cause of inflation. And you have a few oligarchs that have drained tens of trillions of dollars from the middle class, like basically running the show. You had Bill Gates setting public health policy. You have Elon Musk just like gutting the whole federal government. And what did they do? I never voted for them. Bill Gates isn't a doctor. I never voted for him to do anything. Elon Musk, what even is he?
He's a parasite.
He is a parasite.
He's only started one
company.
He's
a goddamn illegal immigrant.
And he stole every other company he's owned. Yeah, basically.
Yeah. He hasn't actually done anything. He inherited a mine. He inherited, just like Trump, inherited his money, was handed hundreds of millions of dollars, and, you know, started a business. And he did better than Trump did, obviously, in business. But mostly all he's done is like bought other people's companies, other people's intellectual property, and other people's
fire the people that started it.
Yeah, and then take credit for it like he's some kind of Tony Stark.
Yeah, the two guys that started Tesla, he bought them, he pushed them out, you know? And then he basically said, I started Tesla. He's a liar and a parasite.
He didn't start any of his companies.
Only PayPal. Or whatever.
Fuck that guy. On that note, we're at 52 minutes.
We're there. Oh, one more quick thing.
Sorry,
the oligarchs and billionaires. I saw this yesterday or this morning on the news. Rachel Maddow again.
Okay.
In the last
I gotta break years, that Rachel Maddow habit. But
I know, right? I just watch clips. I don't watch the whole show.
Okay.
In the last, I think they said 15 years. First they premised the bit by saying the fastest growing minority group in America is not Hispanics. It's not this. It's not that. It's not, you know, they listed off a bunch of things. It's billionaires. There were 15 years ago, there were about 500 billionaires in this country. Today, there's 2,500 billionaires in this country. What the fuck? It's not trickle down economics. It's put the money on the express elevator to the top.
Trickle down economics was
they've taken all the money.
Yeah, it was just the marketing ploy to get poor people to rich people. Yeah, it doesn't work.
Yeah, and all the rich people and the companies do. All they do is buy back their stock. They don't hire new people. They don't pay people more. They just buy back their own stock and increase the value of their stock.
And it's not oh my God, it didn't work. It's like it was never designed to work. It is working.
No,
it's doing exactly what it was
working the way they wanted to work. Yeah,
exactly. It was just propaganda. It was a way to sell what they wanted in a way that poor people would buy into it.
Right, a palatable way that they probably didn't understand it anyway.
I mean, just like what they're doing now. I mean, they've sold Project 2025 just by being like, trans people, immigrants, whatever.
Right.
You know,
because people vote with their guts. They don't vote with their brains.
Clearly.
They say, he makes me feel good. I'll vote for him. Do you understand what this maniac about?
How could you look at that guy and be like, yeah, he makes me feel good?
I know. I don't get it.
Maybe in the way that, like, after you vomit, you feel good. I don't know.
That could be. Well, he says the things they want here, so you know, it's insane.
Yeah.
And people won't admit that they're ignorant, you know, because they're
too ignorant to know they're ignorant,
right.
And now we're dismantling the education system. So, you know,
we're just going to get dumber and dumber.
Here we go. Which brings me back to let's go to Europe.
Yeah, let's go to Europe. I mean, if we do continue on this path, we will totally lose democracy. Our country will be fucked. And who knows?
Well, I would say that we've had lost that a while ago. We've been an oligarchy for quite some time.
Yeah, I agree with you there.
It's just a lot more apparent now. But
right.
I mean, that study from Princeton back in 2014 pretty clearly came to the conclusion that we were an oligarchy back then.
I haven't seen that one.
I mean, the mask is just slipping now, but it's been this way for a while. And
like you said, the MAGA.
Are we gonna keep perpetuating it, or are we actually gonna stand up and do something?
Right. And the MAGA cult loyalists, they don't care. They're fine.
Well, they don't know, for one thing. I mean,
Well, they
the
don't
people
know.
higher
Yeah,
up
'cause
in
they're
it
ignorant.
know that they're just riding the gravy train. But like the rank and file, living in trailer parks in the South, no
Yeah.
health care, no food deserts.
Once these policies are in, once these policies are in place and they start getting fucked, they're gonna be like, then they're gonna be entering the fuck around and fight out phase, and they're gonna be like, well, I didn't vote for that.
YouTube is full of those fuck around and find out videos.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of them.
It makes me sad. And maybe before we go, let's talk about the early fast, because I've seen a lot of response videos to those also, and I understand them saying, well, this is what you voted for, fuck you, you're getting the consequences of your actions or whatever. But aren't we better than that?
I know. We're the ones, again, that comes back to empathy. I don't want to see people suffer.
We are the ones with empathy.
Yes,
we don't want to see people suffer. Come and join our tent, because we're the ones that have been fighting for you this whole time. Even though we were fighting against us, we were still fighting for you.
Exactly. Even though
come join us. We can't be alienating these people. They are going to be fleeing Trump and Trumpism and MAGA, and they need somewhere to go, and we need to welcome them. And it's easy to be like, fuck you guys. You're dicks. You don't care. You didn't care until it affected you. And you deserve what you get. And maybe all that's true, but we can't afford that. Like, we need everyone we can get under this tent, because we're
human beings. We're human beings. We shouldn't be rooting for pain and suffering for our fellow human beings.
And they're victims of propaganda.
And they are. They are victims. You're right. Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. On that note, you think?
On that note, shall we sign off?
I think so. I think we're good. We got a full hour in. Oh, record of the week.
Oh, yeah. Let's see it.
Sammy Davis Jr.
Sammy Davis Jr., bitches.
I've got to be me.
Street named after him in Vegas.
That's right. Look at that styling shirt he's wearing. That's got to be circa 1974, 75.
Hell yeah, it is.
Let's see what it says on the back here. I don't see any dates. That's okay.
There's a whole
here's the backside
around the racial connotations of him performing in Vegas.
Totally.
But that's probably a conversation for a different day.
That's another conversation, yes. All right, folks. Thanks for joining us once again on the Undercurrent with Jeffrey and Kristen.
Sign off with a fuck Musk, fuck Trump. Double barrel.
Fuck Musk, fuck Trump. Double barrels, baby.
Signing off, bitches.
Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Signing off.
See you next Sunday. If anyone's watching. Probably no one's watching. If anyone's watching, we'll see you next Sunday.
We'll see you next Sunday. Take care. Bye. Hold on.